just give the cameras in the back just a moment.
Awful quiet in here today. Sorry to keep you there.
All right, whenever you're ready, Coach.
Okay, I tell you, we've had some really unique opportunities here the last couple of days to invite some really important people. You guys know that this weekend we're saluting those who serve, right? And yesterday we had Gunnery Sergeant Trey James from the Marines, and today we had Captain Tom Rich from the Air Force. Both come and speak to the team a little bit at the end, and certainly trying to create a perspective for the players, a certain level of gratitude. These people chose a career path. They serve. They protect our freedoms, and I think sometimes we take those for granted. So I think there's a lot that we can learn from these special people. So it's been pretty awesome to hear from them. I know it's impacted our players and staff in a positive way. So 2 good days' work here. Really pleased with the focus and the energy that I see. And we're right in the middle of prep here. We need to continue to work hard all the way up until we kick this thing off at 4. So senior day this weekend, we look forward to honoring that group. I think we've got 18 guys and a really solid group in that regard. So what questions we got here?
We'll just open it up, guys.
Billy, would you talk about the fact that you controlled the ball for like 37 minutes against the Aggies and how impactful that is to your defense, being able to do that and moving forward, being able to do it again?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of things contribute to that, right? I think their ability to get off the field as well, right? I think time of possession, there's been games where we've been on the other end of that, right? So our ability to sustain drives and their ability to get the other team off the field. I mean, I think we're starting to play some complementary ball, time of possession, turnover margin. There's definitely areas where we need to improve, but we're still searching for that complete game, where we play well in all 3 parts of our team for all 4 quarters. We put together a good quarter, a good half. Certainly hopeful down the stretch here that we can put it all together.
How would you evaluate the team's perimeter blocking so far this season? It seems like you guys have had a couple wide receivers make some impact plays outside.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a huge part of what we do. That and we're either blocking the perimeter or we're controlling the perimeter with the throws, right? So, but no question, if you're going to play receiver here, you're going to block. It's just part of the job. If you don't want to block, you can come stand by me, But, I think KC does a great job. I think we all understand the importance of that. You play receiver the majority of the game, you're not going to have the ball, right? So I always like to say how you play without the ball in offense is a direct reflection of what type of teammate you are. And I think those guys do a terrific job. And certainly something they take great pride in, and it's impacted our team for sure.
Those Shane Beamer teams are, have a lot of gadget plays on special teams. They do a lot, and they really excel in that area. How mindful are you of that, and how much can you prepare for those kind of things?
Yeah, they're number 1 in the league, and field position differential, right? So they've certainly done a great job, not only covering kicks but returning kicks, and they fake. They've got a gauntlet of fakes that you've got to prepare for. So without question, Pete Limbo does a good job. He's a fantastic coach, and certainly Coach Beamer and his dad and their history there with special teams. It's part of competing against this team is the special teams part for sure.
Coach, you talk about making sure your team is starting to really play that complementary football. How important is it, though, for you guys to make sure that you finish these last 3 games strong and not have a drop-off performance?
No, I don't think we think in that regards. We got a lot of individuals that are working, trying to improve their best. I think we're very much a team of individuals, not only players but staff members that are trying to do it better than we've ever done it before. And the collective effort of that, I think you've seen certain parts of our team improve and the team improve as a whole. So we're searching for improvement, you know, and I don't necessarily think in that regard. We all understand the importance of each game, you know, and the momentum and the opportunity that we have in front of us. So I think we view it as a really great opportunity that we can take advantage of.
You've got 18 seniors, as you mentioned. Can you just kind of talk about what their leadership has meant to you in your first full season here at the helm?
Yeah, no, I mean, this has been a really good group. Some of these guys in particular, I think, have been impactful in a lot of different ways. Through their example, through their words, you know, I think we've got some players that have inspired. You know, I think that we've got a character group here that's done a really nice job. So, without question, this group will be a special group.
What's the challenge of a guy who's in his last year adjusting to a whole new thing?
I think there's good and bad that comes with that, right? I mean, I think.
I'm just saying the individual himself.
Yeah. You know, reality is in this game, it's part of the game. You know, heck, it's, you know, I think there's research would tell you 30% of your organization turns over every year, you know, so I'll tell you, I think the players are more resilient than the staff members are. You know, I joke around about that all the time, you know, so, you know, I think it's a real advantage in some regards because you get exposure to new people, different way of teaching things, different way of doing things. I think that you can take from every coach, every leader that you've been around in a lot of regards. And if you want to play professional football, you better be ready to deal with it in that regard as well. So I think it's healthy. But I do think that there's pros and cons, you know, I can see both sides of it for sure.
How do you evaluate the nose position right now? I mean, obviously you have Dez in there, you have Jaden Lee. Where you want it, or how would you view where it is right now?
Yeah, no, I think much like all parts of our team, do things well, can do things better. You know, we played C-Mac in there a little bit at times here lately. You know, he's been able to give us some snaps. A little bit bigger guy in there. But, yeah, I think it's very much like most parts of our team. You know, they've done a lot of things well, but there's a lot of things they can do better.
Last home game, how important is this? I know you can't mention names, but how important is it from a recruiting standpoint?
Yeah, no, I think there's we've been very intentional about working hard to get them in there. You know, I know the tropical storm is affecting that a little bit relative to a lot of these games are being moved to Saturday. So, but there's no question we're hustling to get them here. It's our last opportunity. I think I'm hopeful that we'll have a really good group there, and certainly it being a sellout, got a chance to be a really special day.
When you talk about chasing a complete game, how much of a unicorn is that versus, you know, when you get this thing rolling down the road, how often can that happen, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, I don't know that we'll ever play the perfect game, but I'm just talking about consistency, you know, where, you know, we're playing at close to our, you know, best for the majority of the game. You know, you take last week, for example, you know, defensively we played poorly in the first half, you know. So what if we played the entire game like we played the second half, right? What if we score in the red area on offense, you know, a couple opportunities there, right? We could have really had control of the game, and it could have been a lot more fun day for me, right? So, but and a lot of people. But, no, I think that even when we get it humming, you know, there's going to be a laundry list of things every week. You know, I think it's just the nature of the game and the nature of who we are, you know. So, but, you know, we've done it in the past, and I'm certainly hopeful that we can do it again.
Maybe an oversimplistic view that you play young guys, they take their lumps, but they're automatically going to be better next year for doing it. What's your philosophy on that? And is having a bad experience as a freshman detrimental to where they are as a sophomore if they're not fully ready to play?
It's a great question. I think, and it's really about the perspective of that individual, right? You know, I mean, I think if you have the right attitude and approach, you're always learning, right? But I always have believed that the most improvement in a player's career comes after the first year of significant time, right? Because now, I know what it's going to be like, right? So my entire offseason reflects, I know exactly what I'm getting into. When you haven't played before, you're training, but you don't really understand when I walk between the lines what exactly that's going to look like. So we've got a lot of guys that are getting their first significant experience. And you see individual improvement throughout the season, but I just really think it gets magnified with now, okay, hey, I've got an opportunity, 8-9 months of prep to get ready to do it again. Not only working physically, but mentally, and then I have experience so I can affect other players. And I think it's a great question and one that I'm hopeful, a lot of these young players will benefit from.
Just a few more for the coach.
How has Shorter progressed since last week after missing the game just with the hamstring?
He's been modified in practice. He's been able to do some things where we've kind of got him on a pitch count. He's still questionable at this point in time. We'll see where he's at to tomorrow. But he has done work. He's worked yesterday, worked today. We're just keeping a close eye on him there and trying to control the volume. Yeah, Frazier's has got a pretty significant shoulder. He's out.
With him and possibly Justin, who kind of needs to step up there?
No, we'll probably you're going to see Burke more. You'll see Caleb Douglas, obviously, and then we're going to get our best players on the field ultimately. So the depth the depth chart reflects kind of who will have an opportunity.
How impressed have you been with Caleb Douglas's progression, just from a guy who wasn't playing wide receiver to now being somebody who can really contribute and even score for you guys?
Yeah, no, I think Caleb still a lot left there. I think he's a good young player that has he has the traits, he has the movements, he has the intangibles. I think his skill level is still developing. But I think he's got the right makeup, and certainly he'll benefit from the experience. But talking about a guy that played quarterback up until a couple games into that junior year. So I think he's got the traits to develop there. Casey's done a nice job with him. And, I see him up here all the time. I mean, he's the right kind of kid.
Last question, Mark.
Just curious, is your senior day just pretty traditional across the board? And do you do them alphabetically, or do you let the guys who are maybe fan favorites come in at the end?
I have no clue. I'm going to show up, take pictures, and, do my part, right? So.
This is not a Billy Napier orchestrated event.
We'll quality control it when it's over. That's what I would tell you.
We'll squeeze one last with that.
The military aspect, I mean, you did something at Louisiana, you seem, what's your background there? Your family members serve, anything like that? Or why is that an important thing to you?
Yeah, no, I just, I think I've had, been exposed to some unique situations to some degree. I think we're all a product of our experiences, the people that we meet along the way, and I think I've just had some experiences where I just really respect, choosing a career path where I'm putting my life at risk every day. And, they're not only, it's not, Captain Rich mentioned today, it's not just the individual's sacrifice, it's their family, It's not seeing your son until he's 4 months old, right? It's not, you get back from a combat mission and your daughter's born the next day, right? So, I think there's a special respect for that, right? And I'm, in coaching, you got a little bit of a platform, right? So, you got young people. I think we can create awareness. Certainly at this university, I think we've got a great opportunity to create some awareness about what these people do every day. Simple things, right? We live in the best country, but it's protected by some what I would consider heroes, and, we don't think about that. If it's out of sight, out of mind, we don't think about it. So I think we've got an opportunity to create some awareness here and respect and perspective and gratitude, and that's what we intend to do.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.